Hi guys, welcome back. What's up? What's new? What's good? Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah, I think today's Wednesday, hump day. I'm out of breath because I had to drive so far today to the Social Security Administration office because, okay, so you guys all know, sorry, I had my hair, I had to just I had my hair up, but it gave me a headache, and um, it's just been a really crappy day. Let's just let's just say that it's been a crappy day. Last week, I got a letter in the mail from Social Security Administration office, and so through my disability, I was getting some assistance with paying for my prescriptions. Which reminds me, I need to put an order in for one of my prescriptions. Thanks for reminding me. So anyway, so I recertified, whatever you call it, in December, filled out all the paperwork that they sent me, sent it back, took it to the post office because I don't ever want my stuff getting lost in the mail. It's happened to me before. I worked for social services. I remember stuff getting lost. I remember people coming in irate because they said they mailed in their paperwork and they got denied because we never got it. And I know stuff happens, some stuff gets delivered to the wrong place, whatever. So I specifically took my paperwork to post office in the return envelope they sent me. So I'm waiting. 2 weeks goes by, 3 weeks goes by, almost a month. Here we are. I think it was I want to say the first week of January or so, give or take. And I thought, okay, I should be hearing something soon because at this time I'm paying full price for my prescriptions, which is not a lot, but it's still more than 40 cents for a prescription. Now I'm paying like $9, which maybe may not sound like a lot to some of you, but to me it's a lot. And it's not like I'm trying to get free stuff. My income decreased a lot being on disability and being retired. So you don't make what you made when you were working, and that's for sure. So, and I can't work, so I can't make any extra income. So kind of, you know, kind of just fucked a little bit. But anyway, so I filled out the paperwork. I thought, oh, so I get this envelope in the mail. I'm like, oh, cool. It's my research, it's my approval. And it was one paper that asked one question. If I get another one of these things on my camera, I'm going to flip my shit, okay? Oh my God. So it asked one question, random ass question. It said, does anybody live with you and pay you rent? Why would anybody be living with me paying me rent? Where? Okay, so my theory is that they will do anything and everything to avoid assisting you, helping you, even if you worked your whole life and paid into whatever it is, whatever the program is that you're looking for assistance with, whether it's low income, no income, just any type of assistance. The state, the government will do anything to procrastinate, to avoid time. I guess that's 2 less months that they're going to have to assist me. I don't know. That's my theory, is that they just do stuff on purpose. They asked me this random ass question. So I said no. And then I wrote him a letter and I was like, why would you ask me this question? Never in my whole process of the disability process, of the appointments I had, and the zillions and zillions of paperwork that I had to fill out, and the 2.5 years that I had to wait, getting no income, zero, before they approved me, getting denied twice, getting faxing paperwork, and then they'd say they never got it. I just can't even tell you how long it took me, right? So I was recertifying for my help assistance with my prescriptions. So I sent him this paperwork back, and I'm like, no, I don't have anybody living with me paying me money. Like, why would you ask that question? You're buying time. You're trying to stall to keep from helping me. And that's probably what you do to all these other people. And I feel sorry for the elderly people who they mess with like this. Oh my God. Something messed up on the camera. I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there. Don't go there, Loretta. Okay. So anyhow, I get this paperwork. I sent that back. I'm waiting. I get something in the mail. I'm like, cool, it's finally going to be my approval. And it's a summary saying that they're still, looking over my paperwork, and that I may or may not be eligible for assistance based on this income. So they listed, my disability income, and then they listed on their railroad retirement benefits. Railroad retirement benefits. I have never in my entire life worked for the railroad. I don't know anybody who worked for the railroad. Wait, as a matter of fact, my grandfather worked for the railroad about 80 years ago. But it says that I have like $14,000 in income from railroad retirement. So, okay, mind you, I got this paperwork. It was in my mailbox. I don't know exactly when I got it, but it was in my mailbox. So I got it last week. So Monday was a holiday. I was like, shit, I couldn't call because Saturday I was irate when I saw it. So then Monday was a holiday. Yesterday I called. I finally got a hold of somebody with Social Security Administration. I'm like, oh, finally get this cleared up. She's like, I don't know. Did you fill something out? Maybe you accidentally said yes to a question on that. I'm like, I didn't fill any paperwork out that asked me any questions about railroad, about any other income. Like, I can't mark a box if I never had paperwork to mark a box on. And railroad income, like, you see that I worked for the city and county of Denver for 30 years. Like, you guys know where I worked. This is nothing new. It's been the same from 2015 till it is now. Well, actually, before that, but till it is now. She's like, well, I don't know where the railroad benefits came in. I'm not seeing anything here. I am seeing you sent back the question about income, and I'm like, yeah, but that was random. Why did they ask me that? Oh, I don't know. Sometimes they just require da-da-da-da-da. Well, you are Social Security Administration, right? Yeah, I am, but I'm actually in Birmingham, Alabama, and so on your letter, there should be an address to your local, Social Security office or whatever. You can write them, or you can visit their office. She's like, but I'm going to put it in the computer, everything that you don't have railroad income, that we talked, that you don't have any other income. Like, this is, you're just getting your disability and your retirement, your regular retirement, but you're not getting any railroad income. So she's like, I'm like, okay, cool. So then what, now what? Like, how long will it take now? Like, and she's like, well, I'm going to put this information into the computer. And she's like, you should be getting a call back from somebody at the Social Security office within about 2 to 3 weeks. I was like, did you say 2 to 3 weeks? Why? Like, why in this world would it take 2 to 3 weeks to call me back? Like, seriously, why? What would cause... Sorry, guys. Oh my God. Don't be recording right now. You're just too upset. 2 to 3 weeks to get a call back. She's like, or you can visit, the office. Okay, well, I live in Brighton, and the Social Security office is in Southeast Aurora, which is, let me give you an example. So If you live in Colorado, you know Southeast Aurora is almost an hour from where I live. So BFE, like BFE. It's snowing today. I could have waited another day, but I was going to go yesterday, but I didn't go because I just didn't go. I thought, okay, you know what? It's late. The office closes at 4. It's already 2:30. By the time I get over there, you know, with traffic and everything, like, I don't know what time it'll be. So I decide I'm going to go today. And I wake up and it's snowing, and it's still snowing, but so I woke up kind of late because you guys, I just have a rough time. I have rough nights. Like, I just have rough nights. Like, I don't sleep through the night. I'm about over that also, and there's nothing that I can do about it. So I got ready. I took a bath. I laid in the bath for a little bit, and then I said, okay, bust your ass, get ready, you know, do your makeup and get dressed. And I dressed cute, not what I'm wearing now, just because I never really know exactly what I'm going to do other than like the one errand or whatever that I'm doing. But so I drove over there. I was on highways I didn't even know existed. I've never been on anyway. And there's a fuzz. There's always a fuzz in the air. So anyhow, it took me 40 minutes to get there. I had to GPS it, and I had to really, really pay attention to my GPS because there was exit B, exit 38, exit A, exit 26B, da 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 da. Merge to the left, merge to the right, you know, bounce, rock, you know. It was just like, you freaking had to pay attention. I didn't even listen to music driving over there because I was just like, I don't want to go on the wrong turn. I don't want to get off on the wrong exit because they're going to be closing pretty soon. I just wanted to get there. So I made it. Thank God. I passed it up a couple times, circled around, found it. And go in, you got to take a number. It's like motor vehicle, you know, and there's kids crying, and it was just a nightmare. Took me probably almost an hour before they called my number. And you know, I thought, okay, well, don't stress out. You're here now. You're where you need to be, and you're gonna get it straightened out, you know, you're gonna get it figured out. And you know, kids are crying and running around. This girl was in there, and she had 3 I'm not trying to judge, but man, this girl had 3 babies, and you could literally tell they were like a year apart. The youngest one was probably 9 or 10 months. Then there was one slightly, the only reason I knew is just because I was going by, one was a little bit taller than the other, and one talked a little bit more. And there was 3 of them, and this one was climbing over here, that one was crying, this one over here, nose was just running down, and she was like on her phone. Stop, behave, yeah, wait till we get in the car, you're gonna get it, oh my God, leave him alone, da, da, da. I'm like, get off your phone, gather your kids, wipe her nose, sit them down with you. Like, I was just like, she was just so nonchalant. She was wearing slippers, and I'm like, not trying to be judgy or anything, and I'm just like looking at her. Like, I really just wanted to ask her, what's going on here? I used to work for social services, and she did hit the little boy in the back of his head. Not hard, but she smacked him in the back of his head and said, wait till we get in the car. So if you figure if they're smacking him in the back of the head in public, that, and not really care what people are going to think, that, you know, God only knows what's going to happen when he gets in the car. But I just really wanted to ask her, like, what's going on? Like, you know, birth control, I don't know, just putting it out there, you know, just throwing it out there. But yeah, it was a nightmare. I was people watching. I met a lady who was really nice, And she was here. They're here because her husband just had a kidney transplant, and so they have to stay here for a certain amount of time. They live in Nebraska, and she's actually a 2-year cancer survivor. So we got to talking and we bonded a little, and that was pretty cool. And she was really, you know, inspired by me. Thinking I'm all this positive. Oh yeah, you know, I'm a cup half full, and you know, when you life hands you lemons, you make lemonade, you know. And anyway, it's whatever, you know, I'm a human being. I have the right to get frustrated, just like, you know, anybody else. My hair is really flat right now because I need to trim so bad, and I need to cut it or color it so bad. It just looks like poop. Like, it literally looks like poop. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this video because it's pretty ratchet, you know. And those leaves back there look like my hair. That's not my hair. That's my plant. Okay. So anyhow, they finally get me up there. They finally call my number, 179. And I get up there, and the guy's like, he's like, how can I help you? Give him my paperwork. Give him my ID. He proceeds to ask me my mother's name, my mother's maiden name, my date of birth, where I was born. Yeah, so I gave him all the information. Told him I don't know what this is about. He's like, so you don't, does anybody like in your house work for the, does anybody in my house, like, shut your mouth when you're talking to me, okay? Why would you ask me, does anybody in my house work for the railroad? You don't think I would know if I lived with somebody who worked for the railroad? You don't think that I would know if my son or daughter, my brother, my neighbor even, like, worked for the railroad? Why would you ask me, am I sure there's not anybody in my house that works for the railroad? No, there's no motherfucker living in my house that works for the railroad. I live by the railroad tracks. I hear the train every day, all day. You guys hear it when I'm doing my videos. I get stuck at the train a lot. So if that's what you're counting, it's bullshit, because nobody in my house works for the railroad. Nobody in my house pays me money. Okay, I don't get paid to clean and cook and do laundry. Like, no one's paying me to do that. So, no. Then he goes and talks to his supervisor. She comes back. She's like, oh, go into this, da 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 da. And he goes in, and she's standing there, and she's like, oh, you don't have clearance for that. Okay, hold on. So he's typing, and then he's like, okay, go ahead and go to window 1. She's going to help you down there. So I'm like, so I go to window 1. She's really cool, though. She turns out to be really cool. She's like, I'm sorry. And then her window was like super low, and like the counter was like as low as a seat, as low as my seat. And the glass, the hole to talk into, was down here. So I was like, she's asking me questions, and then I'm like, no, Denver, 521. I'm sorry, 521. I said, your window is really awkward. Like, she's like, I know, I'm so sorry. And it's like, okay, but why is the counter down? I understand if it's for people who are in a wheelchair. Pull a chair, roll a chair over here or something, but I can't imagine what I look like from behind, because I'm all crouched down trying to talk through this little thing, and it's way down, like, by my waist. And I had to stand there for like almost 15 minutes and do this. My back is killing me from the drive. My back is killing me from bending over talking. I have a sore throat from yelling and explaining and answering questions. She got it all straightened out. I asked her, how could this happen? She's like, I don't know. Like, you know, it's just a fluke in the system. You know, we get a lot of information from the IRS, from all these different, you know, agencies and the government and blah blah blah. And I said, but how would they, where would they get retirement or railroad retirement? Like, you have my record, Social Security, everybody in the world knows where I worked. I've been on disability for what, 2-3 years now. Like, nothing's changed. Like, do you know how frustrating this is for somebody like me and I don't feel good today. And I just feel so bad. Just imagine if I was a senior citizen. I say this all the time. I feel so bad for elderly people, because what if I was an elderly person? How would I get this resolved? Like, these kind of mistakes can't be made. Like, it's not okay. You're messing with people's lives. And I'm not even going to say the fact that I had to wait over 2.5 years to finally get my disability, and all the denials. There's a lot of sick people who are really, really, still waiting for their disability. And I know for a fact that the government just waits for people that are so sick to die so they don't have to pay them benefits. I don't know what happens to the people who are still waiting. Like, God only knows. Like, you become homeless, you lose everything you own and you work hard for, because you're waiting for disability, because you can't work, you're sick, and it's nothing that's within your control. Like, it's all out of your control. And it is just so frustrating. There has to be a different way, a better way to handle things. You know, for somebody who is homebound and can't get out, to go handle these, it was hard for me. It was hard for me driving over there and going through traffic and snow and, you know, this exit, that exit. I just can't imagine somebody who's 70 or 80 years old, who they're sending them this paperwork saying, oh, here's your income verification showing you work for the railroad, and they were a nurse for 50 years. Do you know how frustrating and aggravating and disappointing and disgusting it is to have to go through something like this? Like, I don't know. And the sad part about it is, like, there's nothing that we can do. Like, there's literally nothing that we can do about it. All they can say is, we're really sorry, but we did fix it, and you know, here's your letter showing that, you know, everything's been updated and adjusted. And they still don't know where the railroad retirement, and somebody has to data enter that shit. Okay, stuff doesn't just appear. All this information is data entered by somebody, and there's always an initial, a user name or a user number who entered that. But of course, they want to say they don't know. They don't know how it got there. They know how it got there. Somebody entered the information from somebody else's record onto mine, and that's exactly what happened. I know that. I worked for social services. You can make mistakes putting the wrong income verification on somebody else's account. You know, you can fix the errors, but what the person that you're doing that to has to go through in the meantime is bullshit. You're putting them through undue stress, things that I don't need to be dealing with. I came home. I made it home, thank God. I was super nauseous because I don't feel great. I didn't eat anything before I went because I wanted to make sure that I was going to be okay it's a far drive, so I didn't want to, like, be sick while I'm driving, or feel sick or feel faint or anything, so I didn't eat anything. But I got home, and I just thank God that I got home safely. Traffic, it took me almost an hour to get home because rush hour was picking up and it was starting to snow more. So yeah, you guys, I don't know. It's really frustrating when you're dealing with the government. It's really frustrating when you're at the mercy of other people for benefits or for stuff that you really worked your ass off, and you're not looking for anything for free. And I don't know. I don't know another way. You know, you're talking to Social Security on the phone. Like, I have an employee on the phone, but they can't help me because they live in Alabama. But I called the number on the letter. You know, it's just really frustrating, you guys. So if you're dealing with something like this, I don't know. I feel sorry for you. I feel bad for you. If I know of any seniors or elderly people that, you know, if I become aware of anything like that, I'll definitely step in and, you know, try to get it resolved for them or help them, drive them there, whatever. But just to think of all the people who right now are sitting at home upset, looking outside at the snow, trying to figure out with their husband or maybe their alone and they're widowed or whatever, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to get this verification figured out so that they can get their medications, because they don't get enough money to pay for their prescriptions, and the state and the government is just randomly dropping income into people's cases and accounts or files and making them ineligible for assistance. You know, people need their medications. Social Security, the government, it's just all fucked. It's really scary. It's really scary. Just have to pray and hope that one day they'll get their shit together, and one day that I won't need help. One day, I don't know, I just wish there was just a better way to go about things, and there was a answer, and there's not. And it's just prayer and having faith and having patience, because there's things out of our control and there's nothing we can do about it, but just try to hold our peace. I did get a little worked up and upset because, you know, I'm tired of going through this shit. Like, I'm tired of dealing with the government. I'm tired. I can't tell you how many faxes I've sent. I can't tell you how many documents I've filled out, and I mean, tons and tons and tons. I could probably fill this whole entire room. That's how much. And I'm tired of it. And I just pray for strength and peace. So anyway, guys, that's my rant for Wednesday's rant. It sucks, and yeah, I definitely don't work for the railroad. What the fuck, man? I wish I had $14,000 of income from the railroad. Can you just give me that money? Like, you say I'm getting it, just give me the money. Write me a check. Because it's some bullshit, you know? But thank you guys so much for listening. I didn't have anybody else to yell at, so, you know, I love you guys, and you're always, you know, you're my ride or die, and you got my back, and I got yours, and yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening. Next video will be a little bit more upbeat, and yeah, all that. I love you guys. Bye.